This conference will now be recorded.
Yeah, I think good. Yeah, Jimmy, you can see the recording file once you logged out. Then only you can see the recording file.
Okay.
Okay. So can we go ahead?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So I just want to know, do you have any SAP background previously? I think I've seen that previously you explained me you have a Windows background. So do you have any
What?
SAP background? Anything
Um,
previously?
the SAP background that I have is with FICO, and
Okay.
I did it a couple of years ago. However, I wasn't familiar with. I did FICO, as I said, but I'm
Okay.
not as familiar with accounting, so I really didn't follow it. But I
Okay.
am familiar with SAP GUI,
Hmm.
and but I really didn't do anything specifically with it back then.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
than looking at a few YouTube videos on SAP GRC and SAP Security, I really don't
Okay.
have any other SAP background.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I just ask you because I just want to know from where I want to start. Yeah.
Okay.
See. Yeah. So you already worked on SAP system. So can you see my screen? Let me share my screen. Yeah. I think now you can see my screen. Let me know if you
Yeah,
can see my. Yeah. Okay.
I
So
can see it.
this is, yeah, this is SAP GUI. You are aware that. So if I want to connect to any SAP system, I have to go to this one. Like if I want to see my Gmail or Yahoo Mail, what I will do, I will go to the browser. I will type the gmail.com or yahoo.com. The same thing in SAP. If you want to connect any SAP system, I have to go to SAP GUI. This we can call it as SAP logon pad. So from here, if you open this, you can see the different systems which are added here. So in real time, you can see n number of systems here. So if they want to, if you want to do any access setup for any user, you can go here and you can when you double click here, it will ask for a ID and password. So here you have to give your ID, and here you have to give the password, and then it will log into the system. So this is how we can access the system from tomorrow onwards. When you start the practicing, so we'll be providing the ID and password. Murali has already sent the ID and password details to you, including the client. So by using those ID and password, you just need to install the SAP GUI on your desktop. So like this. So he was already sent a link. By going to the go through the link, and you have to download the SAP GUI, and then so once you download the GUI, you have to go to this create option, create a new, and here he might have sent us some details. Let me open the mail which was sent by Murali, so that will be, yeah. See, these are the system details he was sent it. See, this is the instance ID is a ECC. You can go here. So if you want to, once you install the GUI, you can go to create option, and here you can go to next, and here you need to add a ECC and application server detail they have given here. This is application server, and instance number also they have given a 00. This is a 00, and system ID, this is a ECC, and you can go to next, next, finish. So now there is a new entry added here. Double click here. When you double click here, it will ask for the ID and password. Here, what is the ID you have to give? This is the ID they have mentioned. So this is the ID, and the password. This is the password. And then you will log into the system. So this is the SAP initial screen. So if you want to do anything, like irrespective of SAP security, any person who works in who works in a finance, who works in a basis security, so they have to log into the system the same way. From here onwards, so In SAP, like Windows, we have some commands or some transaction. So some commands will be there. Like uh, here also for different modules, we'll have some transaction codes. If people they want to create a purchase orders, they have separate T codes like this. And security team, we have separate T codes. Basis team, they have separate T codes. Finance team, SD team, EWM team, every module they have n number of transactions. So what are the transactions related to the security that we will be discussing? So we have few transactions, almost we don't have more than 20. We just have a 20 transaction from security. So we just need to remember those transactions for what is the different purpose we are going to use those transactions. So we need to remember those. What are those transactions? We'll be seeing that. But once you logged into the system, this is a system here. See, I'm just opening a transaction. I'm just going to one transaction, \n me21n. This is a create purchase order transaction. Okay, okay, maybe this me21n. So it will open the screen to create the purchase orders. But if you might have seen here, when I'm executing a transaction, before executing a transaction, I have used a \n. Why we have to use that \n? So that is one of the shortcut which we need to use it. So see here, this is the create purchase order screen. So now I want to go to another transaction called SU01. So there is another transaction I want to go it. So if I press SU01, see, if I press enter after giving the transaction, or if you press enter, so it won't go to the transaction. Still, I can see the previous transaction, what I've executed here. Okay, I don't see that because back to the screen, the new transaction, whatever you have executed now, SU01. Previously, you have executed the ME21 transaction here. Still, you can see the ME21 create purchase order screen only. Not you don't see this one. Even you execute here because this present transaction, whatever you have executed, that screen came back to the screen. That's why make a habit of using a \n and the transaction, whatever you want to execute. So what is the significance of \n? It will go to the initial screen and then it will open the new screen. If you don't use a \n, it will open the screen back to this. This is a previous transaction screen. Still, even you executed new transaction, you can see the previous transaction only. That's why always use a habit of using \n. Now I'm going to use a \n SU01. So now this previous screen is gone and now the new screen is came. So that's why. So if I execute only \n, what will happen? It will go to the SAP initial screen. This is the SAP initial screen. So that's why always use a habit of \n in front of any transaction, whatever you are going to use. Okay, we are going to use a different transactions. So in security for all those transactions, so it's make a habit, use a \n and a transaction. Clear, Jimmy? Any doubt in this? You might be aware of this already.
Yeah, so you went a little bit fast in regards to the \n. I do remember that part.
Okay.
Well, I guess you said there are 20 transactions in security. I want to know what's the difference between the SAP basis administrators and the security administrators. What
Okay.
are the specific job differences between them? What kind of skills that they have differently?
Okay.
And what is their daily function?
Okay. Yeah, I'll come back to that point. Yeah, that's good. So we have discussed in our initial demo. So I'll just rewind. So basis, this is a system admin. Okay, and what they will do from installation, system installation, and not only doing the installation, applying a latest support packs. and version changes. And not only that, online ongoing monitoring a system performance. So these are the main activities, nothing but he is a system admin. Basis is a system admin. So when any company want to implement SAP in their organization, first these are the people who will install the SAP, and they will apply the latest support pack. Like as of now, we have a ECC 5.0. Now they want to apply a new version, ECC 6. They are the people who will apply the different new version changes. So not only that, different modules, they have some bugs, they have some issues. This SAP people, they will release a new support packs based on the SAP release support packs. These people, they will apply those fixes in the system. And let's say if you take a very big customers, they at a time thousands of the people. If you take example of a Ford company, they have a business in a multiple countries at a time. More than 5,000 or 6,000 people might be using SAP system. So across the world, system performance may go slow. So these are the people who will continuously monitoring the system basis people, and if they have any issues, something, if they have any issues, automatically these people they will apply, they will take measures. So how to improve the performance, load balance, all these things, these people they will take care. And if you're coming back to SAP is a combination of three things. One is if you want to install SAP, basis people, if they want to install SAP, first what they have to do, they have to install a OS, operating system. It supports Linux, it supports Unix, it supports Windows Server. So these are the operating system it will support. And database, SAP is a combination of three things. One is the operating system, second one is a database, and third one is a core SAP. So database, it will support a SQL, ELSQL, Oracle, DB2, DB2 or DB6. So, and database. And the core SAP, so this might be the ECC, or it might be the BI, or it might be the GRC or any SAP system. So if we want to install SAP basis people, first they will install a Linux operating system. On the top of operating system, they will install any of these database. On the top of this, they will install SAP. So that's the reason whenever if you want to install SAP on your laptop, in your homemade system, it will take a more than 500 GB to install operating system, to install all SAP. So it needs a space for our operating system, it needs a space for our database, it needs a space for SAP. And also this need so much of like hardware configuration also it's required, so much of hardware configuration. At least 10 GB hardware RAM it should be there. So that to run our homemade system also. So we should have, if you want to install SAP, we are not going to use our homemade system. So we brought up rented systems. They are maintaining a good system, good configuration. So this is the thing. Generally, if you want to install SAP, basis people, they need to know this. But I'm just giving a brief as you asked. So SAP is a combination of operating system, database, and core SAP. Okay, and if you go to the system here, I'm just going to system here, uh, system status. If you go to system status, here you can see what is the present versions we are using in the system. So if you see here, this is the EHP7, ECC EHP7. They are using the latest version, and this is SAP version. And if you go here, Windows NetViewer NT version operating system, and database they are using a operating system also they are using a 4x, and the database they are using a 11.0 version. So these are the three things which are there in SAP. Any doubts, Jimmy?
Yeah. Can you tell me how to go back, how to check that screen again, please? I was
Yeah, yeah,
looking down.
yeah. System status. Here you can see here. This is a component, and this is the operating system. This is the database. You can see the versions also in below. Clear? Yeah. Any doubts, Jimmy? Here.
Um, not particularly any. I mean, any thoughts about this particular section? I did have a
Okay.
question in regards to SAP. How often do they release new editions?
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Different release like based on the issues or based on the latest enhancements done in a different modules. They brought the version change like Windows 7 to Windows previous version to Windows 2010 or something latest version Windows 10. The same way like with the high secure and with the latest options which are they were developed in different modules. They brought a new versions in a different systems. So most of the customers they are using a ECC 6 and or EHP7. So this is the latest version which we have in the market. EHP7 is the latest version. ECC 5, ECC 6, EHP7. These are the three latest versions we have in the market. So if you click on this net symbol components, you can see here for each and every module what is the latest, what are the different releases we are using. So basis, ABAP, okay, and gateway, different modules. If you see finance, if you go down HR, finance, so all different support packs these. So they are basis people, they will apply all these support packs in the system. So when they apply all these people, then only all the modules can work in the system. If they might have missed some module support packs in this system, it automatically comes with the software. If they might have missed anything, so those oh, some of the transactions it may not work in that particular system. Okay, so this is about brief about the basis people. So they are the system admins mainly. So they will take care of us from installation to applying the latest support packs, version changes, continuous monitoring the system. So if they want to install the SAP system, they have to install OS first and then database and then SAP. Okay, SAP it might be the ECC or BI or GRC or HR or any SAP system. Okay, and coming back to the security, we are the access admins. Okay, so what we are going to do mainly, we are going to like from initial user setup like password, lock unlock, and access restrictions, like access restrictions in the sense creation of a profiles, and access restrictions like let's say I want to give access. Previously, you might have seen a purchase order creation access transaction. So when they're using any user is using a purchase order creation access. So if he is from a US particular plant, so I want to give access to James uh, to the plant where he is working in New Jersey or something. I can give a access section like that. He can create a purchase orders. If I can restrict access to the purchase order creation only for a particular plant or particular company code. So if they have given that requirement, we can restrict. So we can restrict access in different levels. Or sometimes what will happen, user might be having Previously he was in sales department. Now he might be moving to marketing department. So he need a role change. So whatever the roles he might be using previously, though those he may not be used, those may not be useful. Now he need additional access, or he need we need to remove the existing access. Whatever he has, we have to remove that, and we have to add the new access whatever he requires. So like this, like a complete access administration, you can see further like what type of different activities we will be doing as part of security. Mainly access administrators. We are the access administrators. So if we can see before 2005 or 2005 or 2006, basis and security both are same one module. Who are the basis people? They are also doing the security administration. So we don't have two towers, two different towers. But when the audit compliance and SOX compliance came into the picture, then they were segregated these two modules into the different. So if you go to the some of Middle East customers, still they're following the same. So they have a basis person. He also knows the security. The same person who is working in a basis, he is doing a basis. But that's a very rare case now. Audit compliance, they are not agreeing for that. Whoever is having a basis access, they should not be having a security access. So because of audit compliance, everything streamlines, and they were divided into two modules. So previous also two different, but that can be administrated by one user. But now it's not like that. Security administrator, he will be strict to access administration and the compliance issues, so audit compliance. So this is the main difference between a security and basis. So any doubts, Jimmy, from your end before we go ahead?
So one question,
Yeah.
based on the audit compliance, what are the risks of having a basis administrator role as well as a security administrator role? They do similar things. What are the risks involved?
Yeah, they don't use the same transactions. So they have a different transaction. We have a security administrator have a different access. So they don't use the same transaction. Previously, what I'm trying, they don't use us. I was not telling us they will use the same transaction. They will use both different transactions, but both are done by one person long back. It is not nowadays. So the completely basis administration, he will be having all the different transactions he will be using, and the security administrator, he will be having a different transaction he will be using to fulfill his day-to-day responsibilities. Both are different.
Right, I'm saying, what is the worst thing that can happen if a basis administrator has rights to a security administrator? Like, what's the worst that can happen if the same rights is
Okay.
given to one person?
Yeah. I'll just give an example. Before going to security and basis, I'll give a functional example so that you will be more clear. So there are the true transactions in the functional side. ME21, and this is create purchase order. Create purchase order. And second one, I'll come back to basis security also. Second one, approve purchase order. Both are same. This is also function MM, and this is also MM transaction. This is create purchase order. This is same purchase. Let's say I might have given both the transaction access to you. I've given a ME21 access, ME28 access to you. What you can do, you can himself create a purchase orders. Whatever the purchase orders you have created, you are, since you have approval access, you can himself approve those access. Whatever the purchase order you have created, the same thing you can approve that. So what will happen? There may be fraud happen. That can be happen because you have a conflicting access. That's why you can do whatever you want. So you can himself create a purchase orders, and you can himself uh, create approve a purchase orders. Both, even though both are MM, not like a security basis. Both are MM, but it is having a conflict. So like this, if we have a user creation, access like SU01, and if you have a transport access, so this can be whatever the new rules you have created, those you can move from one system to another system. So this might be STMS. So both are different modules. This is security and this is basis. If I can give these two transactions, these are incompatibility duties. This cannot be clubbed as per audit compliance. This cannot become clubbed into one user. If I can give this two transaction access to one person, then as per audit compliance, this is a compliance issue. So these we will be discussing, Jimmy. Don't worry. These we will be discussing later as part of GRC. What is the compliance? If I can give a basis access to security people, security access to basis people, or a ABAP access to security, or functional access to basis people, what will happen? That we'll be discussing as part of GRC. But there is a risk. Why we are not giving? So even I'll tell you one thing. In security also we have a two towers: user admin, one tower, and role admin. Both are security only. So user admin, role admin, both are security. But some of the very very big customers, so they are not. They are having a two different teams. User administration is a one team, security team, and the role administration security team is different. Why they are having the two teams? Why can't they have? They can give a both access to one person because of audit compliance. You're clear, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm trying to let you finish what the difference between a user admin and a role admin is, but go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah. See, these you are going to see further. Like all these are will be covered. I'm just giving hints because you asked some of the doubts. We are going to talk all these topics later. So these will come one by one. So I'm just giving the so what is the difference between security basis? So can't we give a security access to basis people, basis access to security people? We can give it, but as per audit compliance, see, I'll tell you, before 2004, we don't have compliance. So everybody will be having SAP all access in initial days. So if I give a SAP all access to anybody in SAP, what will happen? He can access if I'm going to set up your ID. So if I can give a SAP all access to you, what you can do? You can create a users, or you can create a purchase orders. You can create a financial transactions, everything. So that's the reason later, instead of giving SAP all, what they were doing, they were started set up on module specific roles. Transaction, all transaction, one role. Basis transaction, one role. Security transaction, one role, something like that. So that's also conflict. So as I mentioned you, even security and basis cannot club, or user security itself, two towers. So I can't club these two transactions because of audit compliance. So that's the reason they have segregated the duties. That's called SOD, segregation of duties.
Another question
Yeah,
is,
yeah.
so for the basis admin and the security admin, would you consider the basis admin the developer and then the security person the person that has access to pod?
No, no, he is not a developer. He is a completely system administrator. Developer is a different ABAP person. So ABAP, he is a developer. So we have another technical module in SAP. Basis, one technical module, and security, another technical module, and the third one, ABAP, is another third. He is a developer or programmer. He is just system administrator. He is just access administrator. He is a developer. So developer, in the sense, what he is going to do, SAP has given a system with pre-configuration. We are going to use the same system. That's fine. But what is for? I've seen one customer, US customer, the real estate customer. They were using a PeopleSoft previously before SAP. Even though they moved from PeopleSoft to SAP, so still they are looking for whatever the screens they were seeing in a PeopleSoft. They want to see the same screen, even though they are using SAP transactions in SAP. So in that case, the customer, they will give all the requirements to these people, developers. They will develop all the screens, different new developments. Not only that, SAP will give us some standard transactions. Instead of this, what they will do, customer if they give any new requirement based on their new requirements, developers they can create a new custom transactions based on the functionality requested by the different customers. So these are the people, they are the developers or programmers. These are the people who will do the coding in SAP. Okay, we are the security access admins, and the basis is the system admins. So these are the three technical modules. Other than three technical modules, we have functional modules: MMSD, finance, HR, those. Clear?
Okay.
Any doubt?
So for the security admin and the basis admin, for the basis admin, what kind of skills do they have, and what kind of skill does a security admin have to do a basis admin role, or vice versa?
Yeah, yeah. So if you want to learn SAP security or developer like ABAP, you no need to go ahead any other things. Directly you can. So you just you can directly go and look for the. You can go and learn SAP Security or ABAP. If you have a very good programming knowledge or skill set like a thinking power, so you can go ahead and learn the developer. Security complete access administrator. These two, we don't have any prerequisites, so you can directly. But whereas basis, if you want to go and learn a basis, so you have to learn a OS, you have to learn a database also. You should be having a knowledge in a operating system on any of Linux or Unix or anything, and database also. Without knowing a database or operating system knowledge, if you go to SAP basis administration, you may not be fulfilled 100%. So these are the two prerequisites for basis. But security and ABAP, it's not like that. We can go and learn directly. You don't need to have a free skills anything. So it's a completely administration of thing. So you can see SAP security, it's no need to worry. It's a quite simple. You just need to have enough practice. That's confidence I can give it. It's a completely administration. It's like a cakewalk only. So it's a quite simple. We just need to have enough practice. That's enough. SAP security. Clear?
So
Any doubt?
how saturated is the SAP security field?
So I didn't get you. Sorry.
I guess different countries would be different. But I was asking how saturated is the SAP security field? Like FICO might have a lot of people applying for FICO. Would you also consider SAP security the same thing where everybody's applying, there are limited roles and more job candidates?
No, it's not like that. It's like here, what we are doing. They, we have a different systems like ECC. We have a BI. We have a APO. We have a AWM, and what are other systems? Yeah, APO, CRM. So there are different systems, but every system security is the same. So, but slight difference. Like ECC, if you learn ECC, you can cover 80-90% of security in all these systems. So as we discussed previously, BI is slightly different, BI security as compared to the ECC. There is another concept called analysis authorization. That concept is different. APO, EWM, same as ECC only. So, but whatever the T codes are there in ECP, those will not work in a EWM and the APO. And CRM also same, but HR bit different again. So BI, if you learn ECC, you can cover everything, and BI is completely like there is a analysis authorization concept that's different, and HR, it's also same like ECC 90%. There is one concept called info types, how we can restrict that access we need to learn. That's it. So mm, we have a different type of SAP system. We'll be administrating the SAP security in all these systems. That's what we are going to do in SAP security point of.
Okay.
Okay. So any doubts before we go ahead and start our content, everything?
I think you covered my questions.
Okay. So initially we are talking about the shortcuts, like anything, any transaction. We have a different transaction like this in SAP Security also. What are those transactions we'll be executing, we'll be using? I'll be giving that list to you, and it is there in our content. So, and also I'll just open that content also. See, total syllabus, our SAP Security syllabus, we have divided into 4 parts. If you can see here, so user administration, and there are a couple of activities in user administration, from locking, unlocking to user creation, user group creation, different activities. Almost 15 to 20 activities are there. So all these things. So tomorrow, what we are going to do, we are going to learn all these things, and then we are going to keep all these points into your resume. Okay, whatever we are discussing, all these things here, the same thing you are going to keep in your resume tomorrow. So once we finish this course, and after finishing user administration, we are going to start the role administration, how we can create the roles and profiles, so how we can restrict the access, all these things, and then we can go to the troubleshooting part. Okay, well, how we can troubleshoot access issues if they have anything. This troubleshooting part is a mix of user administration and role administration. And there are some other key activities. Both will not like a user administration, role administration. There are some key activities. So what are those key activities in a day-to-day? So those are also we are going to discuss. And then there's, or to fulfill audit compliance, we'll be downloading a different kind of reports. What are those reports? What is the significance of those reports? Thus it won't take, these reports, it won't take more than 1.5 hours or 2 hours. Okay, so what are those reports we'll be discussing? And then we are going to cover a BI security. So it's also, as I mentioned you, everything 90% is same security, but the BI security, it's a quite different as compared to the ECC. So what we are going to cover, what is difference in BI security? So what we need to learn, that I'll be covering in a BI security here. And then once we finish, we'll be done with SAP security, and then we are going to start the GRC access control. Okay, GRC access control also, we have 4 components: ARA and EAM, ARM, access request management, and business rule management. So we'll be covering a configuration of GRC as well as a support GRC. So this is the content. So maybe Murali might have already shared this content with you. So this is the thing what we are going to cover in our entire course. Okay. Any doubts, Jimmy, here before we go ahead?
That's okay. For the GRC, so if I'm looking at roles like job descriptions that require GRC for me to be able to configure GRC, would what you'll be teaching the class be fully with full knowledge? That way I'm able to apply for a role that would enable me to do GRC and not just pull reports, be able to configure GRC and fully understand it.
Yeah, GRC, it's a 2 parts. One is a configuration part and second one is a support part. I'm going to show you so how to configure all these 4 components and what we will be doing. Configuration is only one-time activity with any customer, and once you've done the configuration, so ongoing support, regular support, what we will be doing as part of support. I'm going to cover both. I'm going to show everything in the system, configuration part and support part.
Okay.
So, yeah. Okay. So we were talking about some shortcuts. Backslash n, make a habit of using a backslash n. in front of every transaction. That's one shortcut. And second one, I want to, let's say I've opened one transaction SU01 here. I want to open another transaction also. If I open another transaction here, ME21, it will come, but I can't. I want to open in another screen. That's one. So in that case, instead of using a /n, you can use a /o ME21N. So previous screen will be, that will be there, previous screen, and it will open another screen. So /o means it will open another screen. That's another shortcut. So instead of using a /o, you have another shortcut. What is that? I'll show you. So instead of using a /o, if you go to this option, if you click this, it will also open another screen. This is another shortcut. You can use a /o, or you can click on this. It will open another screen. Let's say I want to log out from the system. So you have logged into the system. So I want to log out. What you have to do, you have to go back, and then it will go to the initial screen. So, and then it will ask you, do you want me to log off or something like that? It will ask, and then it will get log off. So instead of that, you can use a transaction called, there is a transaction called /n, sorry, /n ex. Ex means exit. If I use this /n ex, so it won't ask anything. It forcefully log out from the system. Okay, so these are the different shortcuts we'll be using. I'll just remind what we have discussed. So one is a /n. I don't know where it is getting typed. /n, second one /o, and third one /n ex. So these are the three transactions. These are the three shortcuts we'll be using. To it's a in front of every transaction you need to use this, and second one /o to open another screen, and /ex. So you have to if you want to log out from system forcefully, you will use a /n ex. Okay, and before going that, I'll just, what is the ID and password? I don't remember the ID and password. Sorry. See here, I'm just trying to log in. So when I'm trying to log into the system, see here, if I go here, it is giving a client. What is the client? So we have a different clients in a system. I'll just show the clients in a system, and then you can understand easily. So if I go here in a clients, there is a transaction. You don't need to see here. If I go here, I have many clients in a system. These are the different clients which are there. So, but when a basis people install the system, like as we discussed previously, first they will apply a or operating system. They will install operating system, and then they will install a database. After that, they will install a SAP. After that, system will be usable. So how basis people log into the system first time, like when we install a Windows or anything, we will use some admin ID, admin password or something. Here also, same thing. If you want to log into the system, with the installation, we will get a three clients. One is a 000, and second one is a 001, and third one is a 066. These are the three default clients which will come with installation automatically. So you can see n number of clients here. This is a training system. That's why people they have created n number of systems. But in real time, we will have only 3 clients with installation. It will come 000, 001, and 066. 000 we will call it as a golden client, and 001 is a copy of a golden client. Somebody might have deleted the golden client. This will be used. This is nothing but it's a copy of 0001. 001 is nothing but it's a copy of golden client. 066 we can call it as an early watch client. So we don't use it. SAP people, they are the people who has given this SAP system. If we have any issues in our system, SAP people, they will log into the system through this client, and they will troubleshoot the issues. So that's why SAP client, separate client, early watch client will be there. So even you see these many clients here, client is nothing but it's a 3-digit number in SAP. So that might be some customers they will use 100, some customers they will use a 300, some customers they will use a 400 or 800 or something. But with the installation, we'll get a 3 default clients: 000, 001, 09. These are the 3 default clients. We will get it automatically with the installation. And not only those 3 default clients. So these are the clients: 000. Sorry, I'll write it in Notepad. 000, golden client. Second one, 001, copy. Copy of golden client. Third one, early watch. So this will be copy of this. If somebody might have deleted this client, we will use this. And early watch, it will be used by basis people. These are the 3 default clients which will come. But in all these systems, so we have a client, but we should have ID and password. So when you log into the system, so automatically there are two IDs: SAP star, DDIC. These are the 2 default IDs which will come with installation. In all these systems, this ID will be there, this ID will be there, another CPIC. So these are the for this CPIC, password is a pass, and for this ID, password is, I think there is some password 10, 12 or something. 10, there is a password, default password. So 1990, 1985 or something, there's a standard password. So for this also there's some default password. It starts with the 1985 12 10 or something. I'll just give the details. So whenever SAP basis people install the system, these 3 clients which will come with a default, and every client will have these 3 IDs: SAP star and DDIC, CPIC. This ID password is this ID is password is this ID password is this. But security people, what we will do, first time we will use these IDs to log in, and after that we will create our own ID and we will change the password of these IDs and we will lock it. Nobody will use these IDs other than basis people. So whenever basis people comes to us, we can reset and provide the password details to them. And not and only basis people will use these 3 clients. This will be used by only SAP. These 2 will be used by basis. But in real time, what will happen? They will create a new clients in the system, like 100 client, 200 client, or 800 client, or something like customer. They're up to them what the number they are going to give it. So they can use any 3-digit number, whatever they want. Okay, that may be the 100 or 200 or 300. What they will do, basis people, how they will create this? They will copy 000 client and they will create a 100 client or 200 client or 800 client. And all these 3 IDs also automatically, when they copy this client and create a new, all the 3 IDs automatically presents in a new client automatically. Okay, so in real time, we are not going to use any of these three clients, 000, 001, and 06. Sometimes basis people only will use those. And these IDs also, we are not at all going to use these IDs in real time. Only first time to set up the IDs. And and later onwards, we will have a new custom clients created for their organization. If you see here, so this is the client, what they are using. So here these people, they are using a 000, but in real time they don't use a 000. So if you see here in this system, they are using 800 client. 800 is the client, and this is the user ID they are using. Okay. So whenever you are trying to log in here in a system, when you double click here, it will ask automatically. Default it is coming 000. But if you want to log into 100 client, you have to use 100 here, and you have to give your own ID and password. Everybody will have their own ID and password, like our Gmail ID or Yahoo ID. So SAP ID also, every user will have their own ID and password, and they will log into the system by giving the ID and password, and then it will jump into the system. So once they're given ID and password, this is the SAP initial screen. From here, this is the transaction box. Here they will use a different transaction. Here we have seen \n, \ex, \o, and the transaction. So, oh, client is mandatory. We don't use a 0001, 000011, 066 clients. Sometimes basis people will use. Basis people, by copying the 000, they will create a custom client. That client only we will be using. So in real time in SAP, I'll tell you one thing. So in SAP, we have a landscape concept. So this is the development system, this is the quality system, and this is the production system. Nothing but DEV and sorry. This is the development system, and this is a QTY, and this is a PRD, production system. Okay, so in development system in real time, we'll be having a multiple clients, 100. Other than the default clients, we'll be having 100, 200 or something. But in a quality, also sometimes we'll have a multiple clients, but in real time production, we'll have only one client. See what will happen. Let's say if a Ford company want to implement SAP in their organization, first basis people, what they will do, they will make the development system. Okay, in a development system, they will create the multiple clients like this. So they, all the people, basis people or ABAP people, functional people, all the people, they will do their developments in 100 clients, and then they will move to quality, all those developments, different client, and they will test here in development. Once everything works fine with the preliminary testing, in SAP we have a process called transportation. So you no need to create the same data, people, security people, basis people, whatever the data they have created in 100 client or 200 client, they no need to create the same data again in a quality. With the transportation process, they will transport the data, whatever they have created, different module people from development to quality. Here, they will do the testing thoroughly. Once testing is done, everything is working, then they will move all changes to production. Production is the live environment. So the Ford company real business will be running in a production system, not in a quality or production. No, not in a quality or development. Any new developments required in a Ford company, they don't develop directly in a production. They will develop new developments in a development and test it thoroughly here, and then move to quality, do the thorough testings again in a quality system, and then they will move to production. So that's the reason in production system, quality also sometimes you may have multiple clients, but in production we'll have only one client because that's a live system. So understood, this is the concept like a this is landscape, SAP landscape, three system landscape. So development system, all the modules first, whenever they want to implement SAP, first in a development system, they will develop all the things here. Okay, once they've done all the developments in a development system, then they will move the changes to quality system, and they will thoroughly test it. Once they've done the testing everything, so once they come to conclusion it is working perfectly, then they can move all the changes to production. So here the beautiful beauty of this concept is, whatever the data they have created, develop the data here, the same thing again, they no need to create here. Whatever they have created, they can move, they can transport to quality, they will test here. Once testing is done, the same thing they will transport to production, they will use it in live environment. Production is a live system. So in real time, we will get a default client 000, 001, 066. We don't be using those. By copying those 000 client, they might be creating clients like this. Okay, in a development, quality, and production. Clear, Jimmy? Any doubts here?
So you said that there's only one client in testing and one client in prod.
Yeah, product quality, it may be sometimes, generally, that's enough. One client is enough. Sometimes they will keep a multiple clients in quality also, but generally every customer they will follow. Only development will have multiple clients, quality and production will have a single client.
Okay. Um. Okay. That's it.
Yeah. See here, if you go to our logon pad here, you can see, I'm just going to a logon pad. Here we'll have multiple entries. This is development system, this is quality system, and this is production system. Something like that in real time. Development system, one thing, quality, you will have a same ID, and you will use a password. If you want to keep a different passwords for development, quality, production, you can use it. So in logon pad, you can find a multiple entries here: ECC development, ECC quality, ECC production, GRC development, GRC quality, GRC production, BI development, BI quality, BI production, something like that. Okay, in real time you can see multiple systems here. Okay, yeah. So yeah. There is a first. I'm going to start the first topic, Jimmy. Yeah. So can we go ahead, or any? Do you have any doubts?
I think the lingo info that I have is in regards to the initial clients. You said that once the initial clients is logged into by the security people,
Yeah.
the basis people lock it. Why
Yeah.
do the security people have to access it first before the basis people create new clients?
Yeah. Yeah. So basis people, like, that is the standard password. Anybody can log in if they know it. The standard password. Once they done the installation, automatically those clients will come. Those passwords, those in those clients 000, 001, 066. Anybody can log in. But basis people, they will inform to security people system is ready, and they will provide the logon pad details like Murali provided to us, like here. So development system, ECD, quality system, ECQ, production system, ECP, IP address of development system, IP address of quality, IP address of production system. All these details they will provide it to us, and we can log into the system by adding those how we have added today. And by using this app, this might be, you can assume this is SAP star, this is a SAP star password. You can log in and you can create your own ID, or somebody who is there in your team, you can create their ID, and then you can log these IDs. And sometimes basis people, mainly DDIC ID basis people, they will be using when they are applying a new support packs in the systems. At that time they may come back to us, please unlock and provide the new password of a DDIC ID. We can reset and give it to them. They are going to use it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're going to First topic. Uh, Here we have seen introduction and overview, various versions, and SAP security, why we need to use the security, like we have discussed briefly about all these things. Now I'm going to technically into the system. So the first transaction, let's say we are for a security admin, we are going to do the access administration. So here this is the
One
first
question
yeah,
before you go on. I was looking at the
yeah,
syllabus. Can you go back to the syllabus, please?
yeah, yeah.
What do you mean by why we need security and what needs to be secured?
Yeah, why we need to security. That's correct. Yeah, Jimmy, can you repeat again? Sorry.
No, I was saying that I'm not sure if you cover why we need security and what needs to be secured.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll just mention it. Let's say I'll just give example, functional example, not the security example. See, there are the people who are working in different countries. If you take example of finance, material management people. So there is a person, Murali, he is there. He is working in a Ford company, India. Okay, and there is another person. He he is also material management team. He is working in the US. Another person who is working in Australia. So three people in they are there in three different locations in the across the geography. So now, if I give a complete access of a create purchase order, create purchase order, there is a transaction called ME21. If I give you a complete access of create purchase order to all those three people, India, Murali, and you are from US, I am from Australia. We are working. So what I can do, if I can give a complete access, so I can create a purchase orders for Australia plant. Not only for Australia plant, if I have a complete access of ME21, I can create a purchase order for US plants also. And I can create a purchase order even though I am from Australia. I can able to create a purchase order for India and US also. That may not be correct. So that's why we can restrict access. So that's to uh, and also let's say if I can give a security access to basis guy or MM guy, James is MM guy. If I can give a security access, SU01 access, security access to James, he is MM guy. What he can do, whatever the T codes he need with that access, he can set up his own ID or he can set up some test ID, and then he can damage the system or he can damage the data of the customer. So that's the reason we need to secure the access for a different modules we have in SAP. We have technical modules, we have functional modules. We need to secure the access based on the responsibilities. So basis people, they should have only basis access. Security people, they should have only security access. This is the old case. Now, after the audit compliance, GRC came into the picture. Even though security, we are from security or James is from MM, we should have all the complete MM related transactions. As we seen previously, ME21 create purchase order and approve purchase order. Even though both are security, uh, we can't give it to one person, because if I can give a both transaction access to one person, since both are MM transactions, he can himself create purchase order and approve purchase order. There may be chance to happen a fraud in the organization. So that's why access restriction is very mandatory in every in security. Or if we can give unlimited access to people, so they can spoil the system. So that's the reason we have a different level of different modules in SAP. So if you go and give SAP all access to anybody, everybody, what they can do, they can spoil the data. Security guy, he know the user administration, but without knowing, he can use some functional transaction, whatever the financial data they have created, so that if he has access to the transaction, financial data transaction access, he can go to that, he can delete the financial data. So that's the threat to the organization, or they may that will lead to the serious situations into organizations. So that's the reason access. restriction is very important. Securing the access uh, in organization, we need to. That's very important. So previously they were using SAPR. Later they have started using module specific access to access, and now based on the audit compliance, even though, as I mentioned you, security we have user administration, role administration, two parts. Even though some organizations who are following a fully audit compliance policies and procedures, they have two different teams. Who is doing the security user administration? They don't be having access to do the role administration. Okay, so uh, in SAP we have different modules, different transactions. We can't give end-to-end access to anybody, or we can't give a complete end-to-end module access also to the persons. So that's the reason security is very important. We need to restrict access based on not only restricting the different transaction within the transaction also. ME21 purchase order creation. That's a one purchase order transaction. So even though it is a single transaction, I can't give a end-to-end access of the transaction. If I can give it, he can create a purchase order for India, he can create a purchase order for the US or Australia. So we need to create the different roles with the restricted access, one role for Australia, one role for India, another role for US. We need to create the different roles, restrict the access inside the role for the particular plan, particular company code, or particular sales organization, particular transaction, and we can give that access to the users.
I have a couple of questions.
Yeah,
You
yeah, go
say
ahead.
you're located in Australia?
I didn't get you. No. I'm just giving example. I just giving
Example,
example.
okay. I was just curious. Because I was wondering how to get jobs in other countries
No.
using S.
That's
Okay.
good. That's good. Some of my friends who were working previous, my students also there. That's good. They're doing good. They have a good market in Australia also.
In Australia, okay. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm open. I want to open my options, and I'm wondering
Okay.
how I can do positions
Yeah,
remotely
yeah.
and work in other countries remotely, and what the requirements are.
Sure.
Another question I had was, you had mentioned corruption of data. Is there a way to detect corruption of data live, or is that usually done through audits?
Can you repeat? Sorry. Data void or
Corruption of data. Is it possible to catch a corruption of data live, or is that done through audits? You know how there's a batch process. Usually there's an application, a software that would, in terms of transmitting data between systems and between companies, there's
mm,
usually like a software that catches the error.
mm.
So is there like a software that's integrated with SAP that catches the errors made in SAP?
Yeah, it's not required, and it's not we don't require those type of softwares here. If we have any errors, so we can integrate n number of systems. Let's say I'll give an example. Let's say we are using a basis people. They are using a database. Okay, database is Oracle. Okay, when the table space, so they will allocate some table space in Oracle. So if people are creating so much of data in SAP system, if the tables are filled, so if they don't have enough space, what is going to happen? System is not going to work. It gets stuck. So in that case, they what they will do, they some third party tools they will integrate with the SAP. So those third parties, what tools, what they will do, keep on monitoring the system. Some batch jobs will be running, keep on between the non-SAP monitoring system and SAP system. If a table space, I'm just giving example, if table space is getting filled, when it comes to the 80% or 85%, it will give an alert to the administrator. So table space is going to get filled. It's already reached to 85%. Please extend the table space. Something like that. You can integrate some systems here also. So there's n number of third-party tools which can be integrated with SAP to fetch the data Or so if you see tomorrow, you can see GRC is also audit compliance tool. So that's so what we are going to do, real system, the business, company business, any company business, their real business will be running in ECC. Okay, and live business will be running in ECC. So what GRC system will do, GRC system will connect to ECC system. It will pull the data of the users roles from ECC to GRC, and here we can analyze in the system, do we have any audit compliance issues. So uh, this is different, ECC is different system and GRC system is different. We can make RFC connection between these two systems. We can fetch the data of the users roles from GRC to ECC to GRC, and then we can analyze here.
Okay.
Yeah, and yeah, yeah.
What are the people that catches mistakes made by the basis administrators?
Okay, okay, yeah. Here also in security also. So uh, we generally what we will be doing. You might be aware of this ticketing tool process. Okay, are you aware of a ticketing tools?
Just one, which is remedy.
Okay, remedy. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Okay. So here also in SAP also we have a remedy or any ticketing tool. People, any ticketing tool now. Everybody, most of the world now, everybody using this service now. Service now, remedy or HP, OpenView, different ticketing tools are there. Let's say from tomorrow onwards, when you join in any organization, how your work will be. So ticketing tool will be there. So any user, if they need access or anything, or finance user, if he need anything, or basis guy, if he has any issues, what they were going to do, if they have access to ticketing tool, most of the case, only the IT people will have a ticketing tool access. Most of the end users, they don't be having access to ticketing tools. So every organization, they have a call center, or we can call it as a help desk. Every organization, they have a call center or help desk. Let's say you are a guy, you want access, or you want your ID to be set up in a ECC system. What you will do, if you have access to ticketing tool, you will go and raise a ticket in, you will go and raise a request. Let's say same thing, if your ATM pin got locked, or your phone number is got blocked, what you are going to do? You are going to give a call to call center. Call center people, they are going to raise the request on the behalf of you, and they will assign to the respective team. Same here also. Whenever, if you are working in a Ford company, 10,000 or 15,000 users are there. When they have any issues, that may be the issue or SD issue or security issue, basis issue, they will pick a phone, they will give a call to call center people. They will ask what is the issue. They will be trained in a such a way. So, so based on the description given by the user in the phone over the phone, so they will raise a request and they will assign to respective team. If it is access issue or password reset issue or role setup issue, then they will raise a request and assign to security team. If it is any system related issue, they will assign to basis people. If it is related to the material issue, they will assign to material management team. Okay, different teams will be there. So first to take help desk team, they will give a call, they will get a call from a user, and they will go to the ticketing tool. Help desk people, they will raise a request, they will assign to respective team. Okay, once, let's say we are from security team. So take what they will do, they will any access issue, they will raise it. Once we receive that request, let's say we have a 10 members in our team, and we have a lead. So our lead will be keep on monitoring our queue. If we have 20 requests, he will distribute two requests to you, two requests to me, two requests to another people, another guy who is there in our team. Okay. So like this, once you receive the request, so you have to go and see whether they need access in ECC system development, or they need access in ECC via ECC quality, or they need access in a GRC, they will clearly give it, and you will go log into that particular system, and you will process that request, and then you will close that request. Okay, so this is how in real time you are going to get the work. So have some people who has access to ticketing tool, they will raise a ticket directly in ticketing tool, and they will assign the ticket to our team. So, or 90% users, they will pick the phone and they will give a call to call center or help desk. They will raise a ticket in the ticketing tool, and they will assign to the respective team. And if there is access issue, that will come to the security team. Security lead will be monitoring, and he will give a two requests or a number of requests we will be getting into our team. Based on that, our lead will distribute the load to our team, and we need to process that request, and we need to resolve as soon as possible. So, are you aware of a service level agreement, SLAs, Jimmy?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah. So here also we'll be having SLAs, like based on the priorities, like SEV 1, SEV 2, SEV 3, SEV 1, severity 1, severity 2, severity 3. Every request will have a SLA. Let's say if a Ford company might have given a business to IBM. So IBM might be recruiting us security administrators. So whenever they receive any request, let's say we are from security team, we got a 20 requests. So whenever we got a request, every request will have two things. One is the response time, and second one is the resolution time. So response time, like when you got a high severity request in security, we don't be getting a severity 1, severity 2. Always we'll get a severity 3. So severity 1 in the sense mainly that might have affected to the large number of people and business stop working. Let's say system, it's a hanged, and we are not, even when we execute some transaction, it is taking 5 minutes. Our system, you are not able to connect. So in that case, some people, they will raise a request to basis people, high severity request, severity 1, and when they raise a severity 1 request, so that they might have to respond within a 15 minutes, they have to resolve within a 1 hour. So this will vary from customer to customer, response time and resolution. Response time in the sense, when you got a request, you have to respond. So it means you have to recognize that request. You have to take that request into your bin, and you have to start working. That is response time. Resolution time in sense, completing that complete request. Same thing here, severity 2, response time might be 1 hour, resolution time might be 1 day. And here response time might be 1 day. Within 1 day you have to respond, and you have to resolve within 2 to 3 days. So this we can call it as SLA. So every company, let's say when IBM took a Ford project, SAP project, these people, between these people, they have SLA agreements. So you have to maintain a 99% or 98% SLA every month. So if you are not reaching a 98% SLA, so we are going to put some fine on you, something like that. Ford company will keep some clause on IBM people. So that's the reason that clause only, not only to the IBM, we are the IBM employees. So we need to fulfill the response time and resolution time on every request, whatever we are doing. Yeah, yeah. So clear, Jimmy?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Yeah, you might be already aware of the response time, resolution time, and SLVs. So this will be applicable in SAP also, especially in SAP Security also. So we have a ticketing tools. So we'll be getting a different requests from different people. So once for different systems, for what type of access they need. So they will describe what is their exact issue. So once you receive the request, you have to respond and you have to resolve. and you have to finish the issue.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So this is all about before we going into SAP core SAP. We have seen all the different things. What is the SAP admin, secure basis guy, security guy, web guy will do? What is the SAP? It's a combination of our operating system, database, core SAP, and what is our role in SAP security? So how we can restrict access, and what are the different SAP systems will be handling, including a GRC, and how we will be getting a ticketing requests when you are working as SAP security. What is the SLA, and what is the response time, resolution time for different priority requests? That's what we have seen. And further, we can jump into the system. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Jimmy, is it fine for you to join tomorrow also at the same time? I'm on leave this entire week. I can try to join in the weekdays also.
Right. So I'm only available if you're on leave. That works out well because I'm only available in the morning, my
Yeah,
time,
that's
which is
fine.
Central Standard Time. I'm
Yeah,
available
yeah, yeah.
between 9
Same.
a.m. and 12 p.m.
Yeah, same time. Whatever we are joined today, can you able to join tomorrow
Oh,
also?
same time? Yeah, sure.
Yeah, yeah. So we can join. We can this entire week. I'll try to cover also. So because I'm in holiday, so I have enough time. That's the reason I'm trying to instead of if we go with the only weekdays, weekends, that may take so much time. So since I'm on leave, so I
Okay.
can manage. I can manage this weekdays also.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
tomorrow also we are going to join at the same time.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm
All right.
going to
Sounds good.
wind up for today, and we'll join tomorrow, and we'll start the core SAP security administration tasks from tomorrow onwards.
Okay.
Okay.
So in regards to that, I thought the meeting was supposed to go up to 1:30. Are you going to be going teaching longer based on the course? I mean, based on the topic of the course, or what is the strategy?
I didn't get you 1 hour, 1.5. How?
No, I'm saying the course I thought was supposed to go from 10:30 to 1:30 for
Okay.
3 hours per session. So I
Mhm.
wasn't sure if you'll be talking longer based on the topic that you plan on
Yeah.
talking about, or you'll be talking
Yeah.
based on how.
Generally, yeah. Generally, what we will do, Jimmy, if you are joining every day, we'll go with 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour 15 minutes. If you are going joining every day, okay.
Okay.
If
Okay.
you are joining only in a weekend, we'll go with the 2 hours.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead and send me the request for tomorrow, and I'll join in tomorrow.
Okay. Sure.
All
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
right.
Bye.
Thanks, Raul. All right. Bye.
Yeah, you can download the recording once you disconnect.